Hello and welcome to another upload. I thank you for joining me. Thank you to my new subscribers, all of you that left comments, those of you that liked my video. It has done pretty well. I encourage you to keep on sharing it, keep leaving comments. Some of you guys, it seems like you're reading my mind. Even before I make another video, you're talking about stuff that I'm already thinking about. So it is much appreciated. So of course, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. These things, they need to be talked about. Like Chappelle said, it shouldn't be so hard to just talk about things. So that's what we're going to do today. There's been a big brouhaha, to kind of put a lighthearted tone on it, concerning Ye on the right and the what he refers to as the Jewish media. I have one of their representatives on the screen to the left, which would be Leo Cohen. Now, the allegation by Ye is that people such as Lior have made their money off of Black death, essentially. Not in a provocative way or in an overt way, but more in a covert way, and I'll explain as I go along. So, what it is basically, and to make it short, is that these record executives, the majority of whom are Jewish, they get these young guys off the streets, these drill rappers and such. They give them contracts knowing that these guys are involved most times in nefarious activities. They have gang ties and all these things. They give them all this money. Most of these boys are young. They have no guidance. They've been basically doing whatever they want. And a lot of times they end up dead, right? The music that they produce is a reflection of that lifestyle more often than not, right? We've seen it for a long time now. Most of us have been, for the most part, desensitized to it, right? From Chief Keef, and that was such a long time ago, but the drill scene has become very prevalent, and obviously, due to it, they've lost a lot of artists. I'll be going through a list shortly, which is not even complete. I've actually added some names I have in a book with me. So I'll be running through that entire list just to give you context of what he's saying. Now I'm going to play Leo first, and then I'll play Ye, and then I'll show you the list so we can get proper context, because I don't like to come to you with hearsay. I like to give you facts. Oftentimes it's difficult because you play something from somebody else, copyright and all this other stuff. So it's kind of difficult, but I'm going to just play short bursts of it. That way you could hear what they actually said, and then you be the judge. You take it from there and see if what he's saying is accurate. All right, so let's go. I'll play Leo first, just for a few seconds, so you can hear what he has to say.
Man, it's
But being a
so
crackhead wasn't
would
cool
you
back then. Being a
what?
crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and
It's
to
the
be on
most
the
dangerous.
pill.
It's the
Perks
most
and
dangerous
Molly's and-
That's
thing
true.
that's facing um, um, our society.
It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society. Please pay attention to what he is saying. It's important that you do so.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm
Is
saying
that
that's
really
hypocritical though. You're saying the
It's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got people to feed.
It's opportunistic. Yeah, I got people to feed. So that means talent or issues. If a person has talent, but they also have issues, you're still willing to take them on. Now, I understand that sometimes you might have some issues, well, what issues, some serious, some not, everybody has their things, whatever. Gang issues, gang ties, previous arrests, gun charges, affiliations that are nefarious. Why would you bring that into a business and have it associated with it? Oh, because it sells records. I have a family to feed. Now, you heard it from his mouth, right? But let's hear the rebuke. Kind of from Charlemagne. Who this guy? He ain't no good either.
I got
Leon.
I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him. I don't even know him.
I don't even know.
So you bring his name up. I don't even know him. So
you heard it from him, right? The person has issues or not, they're drinking lean, whatever the case is. That's, yeah, it's a big issue, yeah, but he has a business to run, family to feed, so he will take that person on. Now, I'm not saying if a person comes from a sketchy background that if they have talent, that you should not give them an opportunity. But let me not mince words. If that person is coming in and you're willing to give them, because they give these guys a lot of money. Let's be honest. Compared to what the average 9-to-5er makes in America, these guys get 10 times that or more for the year. So let's say the average is 50 grand, 60 grand. They get 600,000, sometimes a million. And if you have somebody that could do your video shoots who's like one of your homeboys or something, and you don't have to put that much out, you could still come up with a pretty good chunk of change. But let's hear Ye put it in perspective so you'll know why I played his first, so you can hear it and then hear what Ye has to say.
We have to raise our consciousness. And how do we have people scamming, selling dope, selling messages of death in order to buy a jacket for $5,000, $6,000?
Now let's not forget, a lot of these artists, once they make it, right, they're always wearing the most expensive brands, right? You will never see an artist wearing something, unless we're talking about somebody like J. Cole, right? Or maybe early Kendrick Lamar, right? The jeans and the t-shirt or the regular Champion sweater. No, these guys, they always have the Fendi jackets. They have the Celine, right? They have Louis Vuitton, Gucci. They always have these brands which are out of the price range or price point of the average person. But allegedly they're making all this money, so they're able to buy these things. No, a lot of times, they don't even purchase these things. These things are given to them by people for them to wear in these music videos and stuff, so that they're getting essentially free advertising. Because if I'm an artist and my boy is doing my music video, I'm gonna just go in some regular clothes. Truth be told, I'm not about to sit up there in some jeans that ain't got no space in it and perform. But that's just me. I'm from a different era than these 16, 17, 18-year-old boys. Right? And once you assimilate into that, then you have to continue doing it. Everything has to be more extravagant. You got to go the extra mile. Everything has to be this high fashion that the average person cannot afford, but that's the message being sent to everybody watching it. And it's coming from people like him. Yeah, so you could be a leaned out dope head, who used to sell drugs, get into gang fights, gang wars. But yeah, you too can be a millionaire if you got good music and, we'll give you a record deal. You don't really have to change anything about yourself.
And take all the celebrities and we push that. I'm not pointing fingers because I was doing the same thing until God brought me down to a place where I can really serve him. Because if I'm sitting on any kind of high throne that he didn't give, then I'm not in full service to him. All of the things that got taken away from me, I'm so thankful for that because I get to serve God better.
I think that's important because having ties to these companies means whatever they are affiliated with, you're also affiliated with. I don't know if you have watched the Balenciaga video that I put up, Don't Buy Balenciaga. They have this little girl, right, with a teddy bear with like this bondage outfit on in an ad. I don't think as a person that reveres Christ and the Most High so much that you really want to be affiliated with that brand. I don't care how much they're paying you. You really don't. But let me just show you this so that you know, right? When I say these things, there's always proof, right? So this is this guy, right? First thing you see about him, American Israeli. So he's a Jewish businessman. He owns, I think, what's the name of the label? 300, and, yeah, 300 Entertainment, right? So he has all these rappers that put out these messages that he's just talking about. You know, these people came from pain and poverty, but they're in a place now where they can make all this money, but they still have no guidance because he don't care about guiding them properly. All he wants to do is make bank. That's it. Whether these guys continue to sip lean, codeine, do Percocets, Molly's, whatever, that's none of his concern. Can you produce some good music? You can rap, you got some, okay, we'll release it. Make some money off you. You end up dying from an overdose or a shootout, then, you know, obviously they own the rights to your stuff. They'll continue to put it out, continue to make money. This is the most disturbing part right here. I was looking at a list of rappers, right, that have passed away. If you go through this list, the majority of these guys were shot and killed, right? When I say the majority, I mean there's only one that's unspecified. That's this one right here. And this is a Canadian guy, Bad News Brown. What is disturbing about this list, despite how long it is and all these people were shot and killed, that is not the entire list. There are some notable names that are missing from this list. It is by no means complete and conclusive. So I have a list here that I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you some names so we can put this list in perspective. So when you hear Ye talking about people putting out these messages of death and violence and ending up in the ground, sometimes even before their career really has a chance to take off, and then he blames what he refers to as the Jewish media, right? These upper level executives who are over these music labels, then you understand. You're able to put some things in perspective. Now, this list is quite long, right? It is long, and it runs from 87 through this year, right? Last one being Takeoff, of course, who was killed on, what is it? All Souls Day. Is that the day after October 31st, I think, right? So the first one I'm going to put on the list, I'm putting him here not because he was shot, everybody else was, but because he was one of those that had complications from drinking the same lean that they were just talking about, right? And that's Fredo Santana. right? Came up with Chief Keef, had a lot out there, had a lot going for him, had multiple seizures, ended up dying. Okay? Now, everybody else on this list, shot and killed. L.A. Capone, he was only 17. Lil Jojo, 18. Lil Mark, Lil Jeff, FBG Brick, FBG Duck, FBG Cash, OTF Nunu, KTS Vaughn, GBE Capo, Juice World, he was also 21, overdose. Drugs, again. Big Newski, J Stash, Lil Ron, Dooski the Man, Lil Master, Lil Mister, Gunyu, Baby Sino, Big Six, FSB Bang Out, Navy Wavy Poot, EBE Bands, Trey Savage, A8B Hella Bands, Shot of Shells, Young Poppy, Shooter 448, Sad Frosty, I believe that was a white dude. I think him and EBE Bands were white, if I'm not mistaken. True Bleeder, 414 Lil Mo, Earl Swavey, Shy, WVTTZ, K Smigs, 2K50 Ruger, Coke Boy Flip, Dims, and Blood Money. I think Blood Money was like the oldest person. I think he was like 30 or something like that. Right? But this long list that I have, along with this long list right here, right? All murders apart from Juice WRLD and Fredo Santana. Right? All of them died in a shooting. So you can see how violent just this this small section of entertainment is. Right? The so-called rap world. Right? And you have to understand, these guys that I named, these guys have material out there. These guys have music videos, all that. Some of them, not well known enough to be known by everybody, but they were out there on YouTube, making noise, had hundreds of thousands of views on their videos. And these guys are all dead. So when you hear Ye talking about, he's pro-life, and this deaf music and this deaf culture, he's against it, and the people he holds responsible are the people in these record execs, then you know why he's saying what he's saying. And I think he's right. Yeah, it's a way out, but if you're living that lifestyle and you don't have any direction, you don't have a person over you, right, that's going to be like, all right, you got here, now you got to take a detour, you got to turn things around. You got to change that lifestyle, you got to leave it behind. Anyways, the Bible says my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. I think it's even that much easier to get destroyed when you come from that kind of situation. You get a whole bunch of money and your mentality is stuck in that situation. You're young, you haven't raised your consciousness, and within a short space of time you're in the dirt. And everything goes on, life goes on. People who hired you will hire somebody else, give them the same amount of money to do the same thing. And it's just a vicious cycle. Yep. Anyways, that's my time. I'm going to upload something else that I'm working on, so I'll see you guys later. Peace.